Good morning all. Welcome to the breakfast show and you're with me today, TradeVSA 360. Now, of course, we are still continue to monitor the Russian and Ukraine war and pretty much has been reflected in our market. One day up, one day down, one day up, one day down. Where is this turning into? Is this going to be pretty much the same, going to go down, or is this going to go to hell? Now, let me break it down to you in our breakfast show this morning. So make sure you stay tuned with us today, this morning in here. And of course, we do have all our regulars stock alert with our VSA 360. Now we can showcase to us in here with our VSA 360, the stocks analytic tools. And make sure you check your stock before you are trading, investing, whether it is the right time or not. Let's look at what we have for you this morning in here. And of course, I will continue to engage the audience, which is yourself, and we really thank you for those of you who has been with us, and we really want to know what we should be talking in the early morning, especially in our morning podcast, in our breakfast show. So just above me here is a QR code. You can feedback to me in here so we can engage you better. What are things that you like to talk about? And if we look back in the previously, some people want to talk about energy and also plantation, which we have talked about it previously. Just a little bit of coverage on that, and then we also have daily updates, which we have market review forecast, sector update, FCPO, steel industry, and continue with your daily input and forecast, please. Thank you very much. And also sentiment. All right, so for those of you who want to give us a shout out, that's a feedback from, and thank you for your support that we have so far in here. Now let's go on to our VSA 360. Of course, these are the features that we have in here. Of course, not to forget our intraday alert, all this. And if you want to check out a copy, just look. Now let's take a look at what we have in the morning session. And I've talked about earlier on just now, where is this war likely going? Now, a very good survey that was posted on Barron's, which is looking from the Net Davis research. It says that, look, the Dow Jones fall an average of 7%. Okay, fall an average of 7%. Let me bring up the laser pointer here first. And then after 18 weeks, once the war historically will recover, it will recover back at 9.6. Now, why do I bring this up? This is very important because we were last week, I talked about the reversal on the last week, I think last Friday, we talked about it on the 25th of February, where the market likely will reverse, and it did. You can see there was a spring, and you can see this is really one of those indicators that you must have from our VSA 360 and from our package plug-in here, which I'll talk about shortly. And you can see that drawdown was 10%, and you see that 10%. So it is very, very likely, and I said here, for certain estimates here, right, that we are really at the bottom. Right now, we want to see this market really going up, and the kind of shape that we have. So you can see the market's gone up, gone down, gone up, gone down, and pretty much, with this turn of the war, and if the market were to recover back to 10% after 18 weeks, where we see this war, the market should retest back the old high, at least breaking above the 35,000. So isn't it a good time for those of you who are looking at US market to be buying right now, buying at deep in here? So take care and be warned. I've informed you already on this session in here. Now let's take a look at what we have for you next in our breakfast show with TradeVSA 360. And VSA 360 has really been there to address these four main questions: what to buy, what to sell. That's something you want to check out. And what's the FA like? Is it safe to buy right now? As I said before, knowing the background, knowing what's happening in US, and also knowing what's happening on the KLSE. Of course, we'll be looking at that through our dashboard that we have. And of course, this is our VSA 360. A lot of this is focusing on the investing side of things, means you want to check out just, not purely relying on technical indicators where you don't even look at the stocks. In this sentence in here, you might want to check out what is the stocks is all about, and there is a tendency for some of you may want to invest a bit more. So make sure you have the VSA 360 to know what sector to be in, what sector to be out, and likelihood how you want to allocate it. If you have a bit of trading and ensuring that stocks that you buy are on the positive side, at least have some sort of a quality. Now, if you agreed with what I said, give me a thumbs up, because I want to ensure that you are always on the right side of the investing and trading arm here. Now, of course, just a little bit of shout for our March 12 workshop, which is on the, you can see the free gift here. We are giving out free gift for our free market conference, which is on the 12th of March in here. So make sure you check it out here with two great speakers and myself, and also from Kellington and also from Macquarie. So lots of goodies, a lot of learning, a lot of, so make sure you come and do share this in with your friends. So make sure they can also come for this free conference, which we are doing on the 12th of March, 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. All right, make sure I'll see you there. Okay, let's go on to next. We have is our top 3 things that you should know with our VSA 360, and overall let's look at the KLCI market, which is still pretty much on the, let me just bring out the 360 right now in here. You could see it here, and yeah, okay, so here what we have, the 360, let me just, we do have this market this morning down 14 points after trying to retest back the old high. Let me just make it a bit smaller in here and open up. You can see it did try to retest back the old high going back to 6 months here, right? And that's, you know, this is where we get all our resistance in. So no surprises if the market try to pull back, and we do see the Dow Jones. But as I said before, if after 18 weeks or what we call 29 days, something I presented earlier, the market will recover. So make sure you have a good recovery for that one. If you need to cut, you have to cut. And right now the market is pulling back at 11 points. Let me just go back here, and that's the 360 that we have. It's down, and Hang Seng is down almost 2%, and we have slight down for 0.3. Singapore is down about 10 points in here. So what are the two sectors continue to do well? It's plantation, but also very importantly, let me just try to bring this up for you here, is our foreign fund, right? You can see on top of me here, foreign fund continue to come in here. You can see this load. So that tells you the KLCI has some sort of support in here. It's not going to break higher, but it's looking cheaper from that basis. And I think for those of you who are investing in the longer term, or at least position trade in here, that is something on you will look at too. And not to forget, let me just go back in here, is to look at the sectors which we're going to go on. Now this morning our market is down 15 points. You can see all the plantation stocks has run up a bit, so a lot of quick profit taking in here, and we have all the negative area in here. Negative doesn't look good, right? It's been running, of course. Right now we are seeing it, but I want to show you some of the sectors which will get you alert earlier on, where the market start to change, and you want to be ready for that, right? Right now we have seen plantation run. If you decided to come in right now, I think it's a bit late. It's looking to what we undergo some sort of overbought situation, and right now that's why we are seeing profit taking in here, and no surprises, of course, right? And let's take a look at here. The KLCI has definitely hit the 1610 resistance, and also the 3-month high, and also top resistance in here. All sectors has turned red. Healthcare has turned green, Pentagon. Now, would that see a rebound? Definitely on the market stages for the healthcare. We have a double bottom. It may be picking up in here as news continue to come in, and a lot of bad news are coming out for the rubber glove maker, where they don't meet, or the significant earnings compared to last quarter has dropped a bit more. And usually this is where bad news you want to be thinking of buying. Plantation has still maintaining to be high, but right now we are seeing a lot of what we call profit taking. So always try to trade on a better trade setup if you want to go in right now at the late stages of the plantation. Property is turning green also too. We're going to be looking at property, so make sure you run your screener to pick some of the property stocks, and also construction stocks, which we did pick up earlier on. Gamuda has done pretty well, but I do think today is going to be likely taking under profit. So what stocks are in green and what not? Press metal has turned green, Pentagon. Now remember, last week we talked about Inari turning green, Pentagon, but it did not, because eventually by 5 p.m. right, it actually became an upthrust and continued to sell off like we see. So it's important, if you are trading on the daily chart, make sure you wait for the end of day for the kind of confirmation that you want. Simply will put you in the right basis in here. Now, if you have any question that you want me to look at, feel free to pencil those in there, or stocks, I'm happy to. And give me a shout out if I'm doing a good job in here, because we want to make sure that your time spent with us is well spent. Now, also for those of you who came on Wednesday, I did talk about the trading and investing. If you have missed out on that video, check it out in our YouTube. It's available in here. And make sure you smash that subscribe button in here and share that with your friends too. Okay, let's move on to our next story, which is our pretty much just a little bit of an update. This is for those of you who haven't signed up for a plugin in here. There's a QR code and a very attractive prices in here, all for a price of less than 2 ringgit a day, and you're able to access some of the information that we talked about that will definitely help you a lot in your analysis of the market in here. So what's in our alert this morning in here? Okay, let's take a look at what's in our alert this morning, and let's see. Okay, hitting that first, that's how I knew about press metal. And you can see Sarawak cable has turned red, Pentagon. Let me just bring this up a bit more. And of course, you also get with our package, our plugin in here, press metal, Astro has turned green, Pentagon, LC Titan, Petronas, DRB, K-Power, Marsing, Kosan has turned green, Pentagon on the 1st of March. Okay, so that's why early on some of those Hata has turned green, Pentagon too, but I'm not sure. Maybe today, yesterday is down 2%. You can see turned green, Pentagon, but today is today is undergoing some pressure of selling, I suppose, and that's why we saw the earlier. So this alert will definitely give you what sector, a good feel where is the market is going. Public Bank has turned green, Pentagon to QLCom, Intel, those has turned much earlier on the 25th of February. So you can really see a history from Alert Center. So make sure you catch it from our VSA Trade 60. Small investment, but definitely give you an insight to the market that we've seen so far right here. Let's move on to our next session in here. And of course, our KLSC sector for 3rd of March, you can see on top here what has really happened. Plantation, property, as well as healthcare has turned green, Pentagon, and pretty much the rest are still in red. Positive territory from green, Pentagon. We have almost 2/3 on the SMARTRobie here are still in positive. And we're going to go on to detecting early sector rises. Important. Now, this is last week. You can see 24th, we only have 2 green, Pentagon, which is this one here and this one here. But this week, which is right now, the 3rd of March, we have another one. Healthcare. So pay attention to healthcare. No doubt healthcare is still trying to reaccumulate. It's not going to go back to the old high, definitely for sure, but that would be an opportunity, which we will talk about in our Zoom session this coming Saturday, which is tomorrow, 2 p.m. and what are the ways that you're able to, perhaps, sell when the market rally a bit more and try to move on to other sectors, which you've seen on the chart on this side in here, many other sectors. And with this information that you had, don't you think you can benefit from the overall market, how it go? Yeah. So right now, let's take a look at what are the sectors in play and likely reversal. Now, last week we talked about the, which is the 24th of February. You can see here the market has upthrust, and then immediately, a couple of days later, you can see we have the sell-off that we've seen on the energy sectors. Right now, still red, Pentagon. And on the sign, because remember we talked about plantation just on top here, there was a nice pullback, but you can see the market continue to go straight up from the 24th of February in here. Right now it is very parabolic. Okay, you still have to wait for the sign when you have a little bit more upthrust that we will see, and that's going to be a lot due to the coming Ukraine-Russia negotiation. If they have some sort of and also the strategic oil reserve that is going to be released by President Biden in the coming days. I think they already done so, 60 million barrels or 6 million barrels, one of those figures in here. Will that have a detrimental push for the plantation stocks? Of course, we do see plantation which will open sooner at 10:30, and what kind of pressure that it will be taken out over here, but use those in your advantage to learn for the sectors. Now let's look at our watch list, which is actually from episode 7. This is from the 25th of February. Not all are turning well, but you can definitely use the watch list right in here that we have. You can see UWC, we set it up in such a way at 4 ringgit 10 cent, and that's the one that is broken off. Right now it's 350, so that was 10 days ago, remember, right? So that's why it's always good to set those alerts, those of you who are running on the SMARTRobie, using the support and resistance, which we will get at the 360 right now. And let me just show you what I mean here. So just type in UWC. Right, you can see UWC, the support previously was at 410, has been broken, and right now you do have the support at 387, which is about 360, also broke through. Now is at S2 already. You can see that trading below ATR stop loss. You can see the last round, that ATR stop loss was about 15 days ago. Okay, last indicator was 15 days ago. UWC is trading 8% below the stop loss. So that's why it's important to have this if you are trading on some of those tech sectors in here trying to buy in. But if you're investing in, you really have to wait for that kind of stage 1 support in here. Look for those advanced setup that we always teach in our masterclass. Definitely our plugin will put you in the right position. Now if you look back so far on the 360, let me just bring this up again here. It has been very disastrous, right? You can see last year we have a 60% in here, but I do think that technology so far for the first 3 months has been really tough, and then you had a nice boom over the second half of the year. So is this a second half of the year play? Definitely the seasonal return will give you some sort of a clue where we have. Also other sectors, Inari, tech stocks is all falling in there. They're pretty much in a line in here, but one of the things that you want to look at is perhaps some of those sector which you will look at. It will be finance. Let's look at Maybank, which is a dividend player in here, and so you can see Maybank in here, dividend player, and guess what? Hong Leong Group, 2nd of March. Okay, buy call 2nd of March, which is just 2-3 days ago, giving it a 9 ringgit 40 cent, which is about another 3.4% up, which is also quite close to our 9 ringgit 60 in here. Continue to head up, and this is why for those of you who are sector trending or thinking, the old way of trading, buying something that's fallen and continue what we call catching a falling knife, you might want to shift your rotational into a stock like this at least, or buying something like that in here. You can see on Maybank is trading 4% above the stop loss at 846. I think this probably give you an idea. Now those of you who want to do sector rotational play, to rotate out and rotate in, then VSA 360, give it a try. All right, so in here, so let's look at the next thing that we have. Is our new feature, which is the US sector and the winner and losses. Now let's take a look at the winner and losses in here. So you're going to go up to screener, right at the bottom there, winner and losses, and pretty much to really look at the use cases in here. The plantation sector continue to do well. That's about 44% return. Click on that one, double click it, and it actually takes you to Greattank plantation, and that's where we were at the green pentagon. So that market seems to be really shaking up in here. Of course, we also want to look at some of those that didn't do so well, and all you gotta do just scroll. I think it's important that we learn from winning cases and losing cases in here. Definitely the big one in here was Coastal. All right, let's take a look at Coastal. When we first saw it in here, yep, they from the red pentagon, from the green pentagon that they had earlier on. You can see Coastal 8th of February, which is this one here, 8th of February, and the market broke through, retesting in here, but it actually did go higher. Bear in mind, right? So that's why it's always good to have some sort of predetermined target, like 2 ringgit here, 209. That was a 20% in here. 209, still far out in here, and perhaps you can take a shorter, maybe a 8% target in here at least. Right now, this market, as I said before, if there is correction in the crude oil prices, but no doubt you can see green pentagon earlier on that we have here. The market has sort of still keeping into play. Right, if you have gone in the first green pentagon, that will be below 120. You're still pretty much in a good profit. And that's why we want to do have some sort of system in here. VSA 360 definitely put you in the right spot. Of course, there are other options you can check in here, and that will put you into the right position. So cost to contract secure some business by 100 million. That's 3rd of March, so they still have some business in here. All right, check it out, the VSA 360 in here. Okay, so that's just one of the cases. You want to do a little more, and that's what we have. And of course, just an update, we have completed our 2-month journey for our VSA Turtle trading, which is completing the journey. We have shown you the first bi-weekly return for the 2 weeks was about 8.8%. We have ROS, and just last Saturday we concluded, and the price winner will be announced on March the 12th. So make sure you come for the March 12th, and our winner will definitely be awarded with his hard-earned work for the last 2 months on our program for our masterclass. So you can see over the period of 6 weeks, they were improving. You can see first started off a lot of red here, then improve, and guess what? Many of them actually made money. The losses are very, very small, just 1%, 250 ringgit overall in here. So that is a very, very good learning curve on in here. And they were only trading intraday trade using the rules that were given to them from our intraday VSA 360. So you can also check it out in here. So very, very good results in here. We are very happy with our sharing for our Turtle trader. Definitely they have improvement in a period of 2 months to able to trade very short term, capitalizing a lot of market volatility. Like we've seen right now, with the market move up, they can go in, and you can see results speaks for itself. Thank you, and congratulations to all our VSA Turtle trader in there, and do join and consider our program if you're interested in our Turtle trading program here. All right. Now let's also go on to something that we have this coming Saturday, stock market pattern that will save you. So that's the QR code. Make sure you join me. We're going to talk about overall market. What are the sectors? What are the patterns? How do you want to get out from your rubber glove stock? What are the strategy that you have? And definitely we will share on coming Tuesday. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. All right. So we're going to go on to the section in here right now to do some stock review. If you do have them, let me know, and we'll be looking at the couple of stocks. And of course, don't forget to give us a review for our SMARTRobie, which your continuous support has helped me on Google Play and Apple Play Store so far in here. Okay, so if you have any stocks that you want me to look at, feel free, and I'm happy to share them with you too. All right, let me know, okay? Any stocks that you want me to look at. All right, Prestar. Okay, great. We're gonna look at Prestar right now. Let's look at Prestar. So we're going to use the VSA 360. All right, you can see Prestar is up 3% in here. We just have to wait for the charts to come out. We can also take a look at the real-time charts here. So Prestar turned green pentagon. That's great. Okay, and you can see here. Just turned green pentagon. That's a nice one in here. And overall, you can look at it. What is the target? You got about 12%. So you target about 10%. I think it's good enough to get the kind of return. And if you go back to our Prestar here, right, 10%. I think it's good to go in, and it's rated 4, pretty good. What kind of business they in? Just mouse over here. Investment holding. Trades, guardrail, import, general hardware, construction. Yes, construction, very good. Okay, pays 1%, but have return of dividend of 22. Very safely here, not coverage. So first profit now 0.72 already there, so it's time to go in. 6% at the 76. or you can sort of let it run until the green, until you get some sort of red pentagon. But there's a nice one, nice setup. Prestar, definitely, it's a go from here. All right, great one. Thanks to our. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. We have Mayfu here for Greattank. Let's take a look at Greattank. Now remember, Greattank is in a downtrend, pretty much in the downtrend in here. So you can see here, warning below ATR stop loss. So if you want to buy Greattank, don't catch the falling knife. I don't recommend that. Look for a good entry, wait for the green pentagon, use SMARTRobie, right, for the green entry, or you can really plan to wait until at least you have a support here at 372, which is only another 2%, or 348, 364, 348. So 350 is that level. But remember, even if you hit your support, if there is no sign of strength in here, the market will continue to go right down in here. PE is about 34 times. ROE doesn't pay any dividends, so no point. And look at that. Check that one out. Okay, it is in a bearish pentagon, minus 90%. Not ready yet. It's a positive cash flow, high gearing, high value, and that's why we always recommend people to check out our VSA 360 in here, and definitely you can see Greattank. And also, in the coming months we have our insider report buying and selling. Very good one. I'm going to share with you how you can use that to your benefit. Okay, we got Janice here. Before that, let's go back up a bit more. We have LB Aluminium plug in. You got Isaac. Let's look at LBS. Okay, we'll look at LBS. Let's take a look at LBS too. LBS Bena or LBS. Okay, I assume LBS can keep or not. Now remember, property is in green pentagon. First, we always think about the sector first, okay? LB, yeah, this is fine, keep it. You got a nice breakout in here. Green pentagon in here. Today is, of course, pullback. 3 out of 8, okay? So not too bad. 3 out of 8 with a R, so that's not too bad. You can keep it along. It is a longer term. It is a FAD with a 2% in here. LBS property stock, but it's not one of those really going to make you a lot of money. But if you have it, keep it, and rotate it out if you can find something sooner. I think it's very important to keep a well-diversified portfolio. Some on those growth stocks, like the Greattank, you want to avoid it first. You want to cut it and then move on to the next one. All right, next, let's hold on to. We have another one. Prestar, we done that. LB Aluminium, okay. LB Alum, great. Okay, LB Aluminium in here. And you can see, yeah, this is already, really accelerated. You can see right now. It's a nice pullback, 7 out of 8. Very good one in here. Very low PE, 5% dividend, ROE of 11. And it has a safety in here. So that's pretty good. Know that if you bought LB Aluminium, keep that one. And press metal, like I said before, is already running. And you can see 40% since the return. And average return is only 7. Okay, keep note of that one. So you can look at it. LB Aluminium yesterday has made a good run. Do take note, some of these stocks have already run a fair bit already. All right, wait for the pullback. If the pullback is nice, some of those we talk about in here, then you want to keep. Okay, let's look at TM. Just type TM in here. TM is has broken below the ATR stop loss. It's so just be careful if you have these stocks breakout. It's still pretty much in the range wise. You can switch on to 6 months downtrend, still going through accumulation in here. I think the support here right now at $5 and 501, which is broken through below the support. The ATR stop loss also broken through, so you have to be very careful. The next support is this level here. Okay, if you just make it wider, you can see it. Right, which is around the 490 level, which is at this support here. All right, and so right now you have still down 2% in here, but it's rated 1. Kenangan has a buy call, okay, for 3rd of March at 7 ringgit. Okay, if you buy that, then you have 42% upside. But again, just be careful. For longer term or not, you have to check those out in here. And right now the sentiments are still below in here. You can see 25 Telecom Malaysia performance above sector, but dividend payment fall short. I suppose maybe that's one of the reasons why it's all right. Let's take a look at the others. Thank you for coming in. We got Greattank. We think we got wrestling tag. Okay, let's look at wrestling. Resin TC, okay, Resin Tech, sounds like rack. Okay, 1 ringgit in here, no, and just waiting for the stocks to come in. Yep, it is above 14%. Already run a rod, yeah, breakout. This morning, pullback, yeah, this is fine, continue to have it. This is a nice breakout in here, just watch out for it. You got profit target around 110, which is 8.9% from yesterday. Definitely this is a trading stocks. Okay, what else you have? Let's look at it. A seasonal monthly 16%. Last year it ran about 100%, so there's still a little bit more room going up. Okay, so this is one of those speculative, in the nature. And what do they do? Let's take a look. Manufacture PE, you have construction, ABS, tanks and fittings for that one. Okay, so that's why, check out the stocks with VSA 360 before you buy. All right. Okay, you got a phone, L Steel. Steel leader, rated 4, very good one, right? Floating shares not available in here. You can see this one is still range bound. Switch to a 6-month chart. Yeah, pretty much rebound. Right, and right now at the support in here, but it's trading below, just above 4%. 4% from the stop loss level, about 60 cents here. Yeah, there's a stop loss level here, and good support. I suppose you have huge safety margin because of PE is very low. If the PE were to go higher, re-rating L Steel, it's a long run altogether, right? High debt, poor market liquidity, so check out that one. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We have a few more in here. Yeah, I think we cover all. So thank you guys. Really a good time for you to put in those stocks inside there. And of course, right, we want to remind the audience here who's watching, also smash that subscribe button on YouTube and do share that with your friend. And of course, going forward, what we hope for is to see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. for our session. Okay, and of course, do share our Telegram chat room for all the information that we have this morning in here. And thank you for watching, and great session in here. We have all our members and also the public in here. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Bye bye.